Welcome to the Community Foundation's 2021 Philanthropy Summit. I am Amy Owen, President and CEO of the Community Foundation for Loudoun and Northern Fauquier counties. It's such an honor to be here with you all today. The Community Foundation is committed to a healthy, thriving community through a shared humanity, and that requires awareness, attention, and keen commitment to racial equity, accessibility, diversity, and inclusion. Last year, we launched our racial equity framework, providing a series of programs to build a deeper understanding among Black, brown, and white people of racial inequities and injustices. We want to be part of building connections and conversations. We want to be part of a world where we do see color, and through that color, and that clear and beloved sight, we move forward beyond today's societies, communities, and neighborhoods that are more segregated than ever before, with authentic and inviting friendships, relationships, equitable outcomes, and liberty for all. We've assembled today's lineup of experts to keep us thinking and moving forward on this journey together. And we raise these questions. As posited by Dr. David Camp, what should we teach our children about race? How much does racism today and racism of the past matter to American life? How do we stand for an ally with historical truth and knowledge in our educational systems? We ask, how does housing affect individual health and prosperity? And what is its role in generational wealth of the past, present, and future? How do we advocate for housing change in our backyard now? We ask, what is one of the most immediate tools in our toolbox to affect a shared humanity? We think it's through the workplace, how and who we hire or recruit onto our boards, but then how we include them, authentically include everyone once on board. The late John Lewis, civil rights activist, congressman, and visionary who spoke of a beloved community, shared this before his passing. There are forces today that are still preaching hate and division. There are forces today that want us to return to the old ways, to lose ground, to take our eyes off the prize. It makes me sad, he said, for we don't want to go back. We want to go forward and create one community, one America. Your presence here today helps us keep our eyes on the prize. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward with liberty and justice for all. By the way, as we move forward on this journey, we have two artists with us in the house this year. You'll meet the second in a bit, but we have graphic recorder Ashanti Gardner joining us, and you'll see some of her art as the day goes by. So Ashanti, we're so glad you're here. She'll be capturing our conversations visually so that we can share our conclusions, ideas, and lessons learned via social media. And it'll give us a creative way to keep the conversation going. So again, thanks to you, Ashanti. Hey, that reminds me, when you are doing some form of social media exchange, use our hashtag, #ReadyForChange. And help spread the word. Also on the housekeeping side, we'll be taking a short break midway through the morning. We'll use that time to give away some books written by some of our presenters. You don't need to be present to win, but we hope you're here. As we move through the day, we'll take questions from our audience to pose to our panelists, but only if we have time. But you're welcome to put those questions in the Q&A area. Lastly, I'm pleased to share that the Community Foundation has launched a new fund dedicated to racial equity grant making. In its first round of grant making, it will be dedicated to emerging nonprofits in our footprint led by Black leaders. Make a gift, please, of any amount to show your support. The fund has been seeded by gifts from the Community Foundation's Endowment for the Community, the Don and Amy Owen Charitable Fund, and the Paul and Joni Syker Fund. And we hope you'll add to it. We'll send you the link to make that gift later in the day, or if you want, you can go back to our website and follow from our homepage to the Philanthropy Summit there, and you'll see a place to make a gift. So it is now with deepest gratitude that I introduce the chair of the Community Foundation's Board of Directors, Lucky Waitra. Lucky.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for setting the stage so eloquently for our day today. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time for being with us today. This morning, it is my pleasure and honor to pay homage to the Community Foundation sponsors. Our sponsors fuel our work in so many different and important ways, enabling us to illuminate opportunities for growth and lead the charge for change within our community. None of what we do would be possible without them. I want to especially recognize our supporting and presenting corporate sponsor for this event, Google. We are fortunate to have amongst us today their Head of Community Development for US East, Laurel Brown.
Thank you, Lucky. It is my pleasure to be with you this morning. My name is Laurel Brown, and I am the Regional Head of Economic and Community Development for Google's data centers. I'm here as a representative of Google, but with a decade of nonprofit experience behind me. So I understand having budgeting and resources that don't quite match the level of ambition and vision we commit ourselves to. And then I understand the strap and grit and resourcefulness that it takes to nevertheless outperform and make real impact. And I now have the opportunity to work on the other side of the philanthropic spectrum for an amazing organization. Google's Loudoun Data Center team is proud to be a sponsor of the Community Foundation's 2021 Philanthropy Summit. And I also just want to pause to say it's an incredibly important intersection today that we're delving into: education, workplace, housing. To some, they might seem like three distinct issues, but in fact, they are intricately intertwined. When you think about housing and the affordability of housing, well, affordability is contingent upon your workplace, how much money you're making. And of course, those workplace opportunities are contingent upon the education that you receive. And then of course, the education that you receive is contingent upon where you live. And then when you add a layer of diversity and equity and inclusion to that, it makes the problem that we're here tackling all the more profound. Since we opened our data center in Loudoun County, we've been a proud supporter of the Community Foundation and its visionary leader, Amy Owen. Google was proud to work with the foundation and Kaiser Permanente just last year to launch the minority-owned business program, providing grants of up to $10,000 each to local MBEs. We've also enjoyed building relationships throughout Loudoun through our grants programs and local initiatives that use our tools and expertise. We worked alongside Loudoun community leaders to advance education and economic opportunities to groups such as the Loudoun Education Foundation. And as school districts were forced to go remote due to the coronavirus, Google provided $150,000 to LEF to support digital equity efforts across the district. In short, we've enjoyed building relationships here in Loudoun and playing a role in working with the foundation and others in trying to make a real difference here. In the future, I look forward to building friendships and relationships with many of you and seeing how we might be able to work together on future projects.